Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Look who I'm with, Mr. Max May. Woo! Welcome, Max.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Okay, where did you grow up, Max?
I'm a country boy. I grew up in a few different places. Started in the Northern Beaches and we slowly migrated our way up to like the Northern Rivers area. But at heart, I'm a country boy.
Yeah, nice. How was going to high school in the country?
It was tough at times. I mean, I was a pretty tough kid, but I was also creative. So, I mean, there were moments. I was pretty good at sport. I went to very sporty schools, football, rowing, surfing, but I like to play sport. So I felt like that helped a lot. But I guess being a bit creative, I was occasionally picked on, but it wasn't hard. I guess for me, it was like, I felt as though I didn't really kind of fit anywhere in any group. So it was more, I think, a struggle mentally for me than anything else. I just had that eye on leaving school and exploring what I was going to be and what I was going to do, because what I was seeing at school, I wasn't relating to.
Yeah, you had to find your tribe.
Yeah.
How did you get into makeup?
So my mum used to work at Hot Tuna, which is a surf label. She worked there for like 20 years. So I grew up around design and fashion, even though it was surf, it wasn't like super fashion, but it was pretty outrageous in its day.
Yeah.
So my mum's creative, she paints, she draws. I started doing that. I got into photography, and then through that, I basically fell into hair.
Okay.
And then from hair came the makeup. I was watching makeup artists work.
So you did a hairdressing apprenticeship?
Yeah.
Oh, great, awesome. Whereabouts was that?
Yeah, so I started in the city on Elizabeth Street, and then I moved to a salon in Balmain.
Yep.
I was terrible at it.
No, you're amazing at hair.
No, I mean being a hairdresser.
Right, okay.
You know, like
The
working in a salon is a
with-
particular type of personality.
It's hard, isn't it?
You have to listen to a lot of shit, and I'm maybe not that best person to kind of deal with, like, you know,
all those different
listening to
storylines that come
something
across
like
your desk.
First world problems.
Fair
I'm a bit of a
enough.
realist. But I loved being creative, and I loved, you know, making people feel great. And from that, you know, came the whole photography side of things and creating imagery, and then, you know, being a painter and a drawer, watching makeup artists work. I was like, wow, I could do that. Like, I can see what she's doing. I just needed to learn the craft. Yeah.
What advice would you give to people that would like to be a makeup artist?
Oh God, don't do it. Get a real job. It's tough. People ask that all the time, and I mean, like, what do you say? Is there an answer? There's no real answer, is there?
I say if you love it, you will find your way, and just go for it, but don't expect an easy ride.
Totally.
I feel like you need to work hard, and a lot of people are caught up in the glamorous side of things and seeing a snapshot into very successful artists, but I feel like, you know, I was always told that you needed 10 years to study almost, to observe, to assist.
Yeah, to assist.
And it's different now, where it's a different market. That's
there's no one road, is there?
No.
So, I mean, I just feel the same in the sense that if you truly love it, then you will find your way. Perseverance, a lot of hard work. But assisting would probably be my first thing that I would say, and it's the thing that I always say to everyone, and it's how I got into it. It's what taught me the fundamentals of not only my craft, but how the industry worked, and who was in the industry, and then from there, contacts, and you start kind of working your way in. But there's no real one way, there's no one road in, so it's a tough one.
But I've said before as well, like, assisting was such a good time for me. Like, I loved it. I loved observing. I feel like in life, the more you can observe so much, you know, people are so quick to like fill the air with a voice, and sometimes I'm like, it's just good to be quiet and watch.
Yeah.
And I loved watching and
100%.
observing and seeing how people dealt with situations. And you didn't have the pressure yet of wearing the crown, so you could kind of just sit back and observe, and they're really good times.
It was pretty bliss, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was
I mean, at the
good
time,
times.
you didn't really think that though, did you? You were
I
kind of
couldn't
like,
wait. I was
I wanted
thirsty.
to
I
do
couldn't
it.
wait.
I wanted to do it.
Yeah, I couldn't wait for it to
100%.
happen. But in hindsight, now I look back and it's some of the best times of my life. So it's great.
It was fun.
How do you think? The industry has changed in the last 10 years?
Oh my gosh. I feel like the last 10 years, like what we've seen in the last 10 years is probably more than the entire industry has ever maybe seen. The digital obviously was a massive movement and still continues to be. So that was a big change. And then from that, you know, more of an emphasis on your relationships with brands, you know, or even the celebrity for us being the brand, and therefore being put more in front of the camera as an expert, and kind of like what you're doing now. It's like people wanted to now see what was actually behind the lens. It's one thing to see what's in front. So much change. I mean, I don't even know where to begin there. But digital, I guess, would be the biggest thing for me. Starting my blog, and that kind of leading me into relationships with the brands and working with them, producing content, doing educational pieces, and then obviously my relationships with the different girls that I work with, and that kind of pushing me into a mainstream spotlight as well, like talking about my relationship and how I come up with those kind of looks and what it's like to work with those people.
Yeah. But also, like, it comes experience. You get to work with clients that you love, and you work together. And you know, and I think you can say the same as me. We work with some great people that love and respect hair and makeup, which makes our job so good. You know what I mean? Like, we can collaborate together, and you know, it work. That's a great thing to have.
There's nothing better than having a client that has like that value for hair and makeup, and loves that process.
Everything.
Yeah. It's quite amazing.
Do you have a favourite shoot that you've ever worked on?
Oh, not really. I mean, there have been moments through my career. Obviously, the starting in my career, you know, doing my first shoot or cover shoot, which was probably Oyster magazine, maybe. And they did like a double cover, and there was like 18 pages, which led to me getting an agency. Probably like doing hair and makeup for like 4 years and shooting Vogue would be a moment. I mean, going and doing shows. I feel like it's always the last thing for me, like the last, you know, trip or the last shoot. Going to New York recently for Fashion Week. It was fun and producing all these content.
That looked amazing, that trip. That looked busy.
It was crazy. I went over there for Tresemme, which is my sponsor, hair sponsor, and we created all of this content. So we were doing the shows and then taking those show looks and converting them like basically into a more achievable street style version with different celebrities. So showing girls how to convert those kind of high fashion runaway kind of looks into street style. So it was like, you know, 12, 14 nowadays. I mean, it's a killer, but it's kind of fun, like, because you are there and there is this amazing buzz. And you're getting to be creative on both levels, creating something that's quite fantasy and then showing people how to recreate that every day, which I love. I love both.
It is great. Me too. So Max, the big question. What would be your top 4 can't live without beauty products?
Oh gosh, I feel like they change all the time. It's always really hard to, you know, pick just 4. I'm a little obsessed with the Tresemme Undone Texture Spray at the moment. I just love the kind of the texture and the volume that it gives. New by Nature Creamy Matte Lips. I'm obsessed with this one color, which is like an orange color. I can't stop using it. I've been using it in literally every shoot. And they're my sponsor, and they actually told me to stop using it and to use something else.
Oh, you love it so much.
I get obsessed with things and then I move on.
Yep, when you love it, you love it.
I am very into the Tasha Dewy, Luminous Dewy Mist. Have you tried that one?
No.
Amazing, sprayed over makeup,
Yep.
helps set, and just gives it that really beautiful kind of all over radiance.
Right,
it's like
amazing. Can you use
buzz at the moment.
Can you use it as just a spritz by itself?
100%.
Great.
Yeah, totally.
Fun now.
What would be my 4th one? Probably maybe the Mecca Banana Bake powder.
Okay.
It's like a compact powder, great for underneath the eyes, gives
Yeah.
you that kind of washout look.
Yeah. Fabulous. Was that for? Great.
I think
Thank
so.
you. Heard it here first, Queens. What's your favourite Insta account or accounts at the moment?
Oh,
It's a hard one.
these like favorite things. I'm just not a favorite kind
Yeah.
of like person. I'm not like
Yeah.
one kind
Yeah.
of thing. I don't like to be made to choose.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like Crazy Bitch Problems.
Okay, there's
which
one.
is
Great.
a
Just
really
let us in. Yeah.
funny meme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instagram account. Really can't really like crass.
Fun. You want a good
You've got
laugh.
to be like a follower. You're not, and it's private.
Yeah.
You know, so it is really fun. And my friends and I send it to each other. I like men's style accounts. I like homeware accounts.
Yes,
I like
true.
funny dog accounts.
Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah. I don't really have a really cool like. I think if people ever looked on my account, looked at the people I follow, they'd be like, "This guy's a loser."
Oh, no, not at all. I feel like, I mean, it's your feed, so of course, there's ones for inspiration and there's friends, but then there's, the one I feel like at the moment as well, we need some feel-good ones, and they
Yeah.
break through, and like a good meme. I'm like, I just want to be able to do a good meme. And these people that can just bang them out so quickly, I'm like, yeah,
They're so good.
Such an art, isn't it? But
So good.
Brings me so
like
much
the fat
joy.
Jewish, so good.
Yeah, great. Now, you've had a successful blog for like 10 years now. What's your secret?
I mean, I don't really have a secret. There's no method to my madness other than just creating content that I want to see and read and talk about. I guess having help, it's been the first big learning curve for me, and releasing things and letting other people actually do stuff for me. I have a really amazing writer and sub-editor, and she helps me put together a lot of the content to bring together my visions. But I mean, I guess it's just about, it's creating content that you want to see. And that has therefore built me a following that people seem to love and seem to keep coming back to read. But there's no real method to it for me. I mean, it just happened and it's worked and it's continued to work, and I keep going, and when it doesn't, I'll just stop.
Okay. Well, I think you do what you love.
Yeah.
And it comes through.
I think so. I hope so, yeah.
So, yeah.
It hasn't failed me yet, so.
No, it won't. Okay. What advice would you give to 13-year-olds? What would you whisper in your ear?
Oh God, get a haircut.
What was it like?
I had that like, it was like this, but longer.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was fine, but I look back and I'm like, oh my God.
Was it an
I
undercut
mean,
or anything in there, or no?
It really worked then.
Yeah.
It did really work. But, what would be my advice I would give? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess ask. Oh, maybe I should have looked for more of like a mentor. As I've gotten older, I have looked towards more experienced people for advice, where when I was younger, I just kind of like, I was very headstrong, and I just kind of like, I did it and I went at it 100 miles an hour. Do I regret that? No, because I mean, it worked for me, but it was also really kind of stressful and quite like, I felt a little bit alone. So maybe, yeah, to have asked for advice or looked for people that were more experienced in what I wanted to do and get a little bit more of a guidance.
It's great advice. I think it's great. And sometimes one of the hardest things is asking for help or asking for advice. You
100%.
feel like you need to do it alone, or you have to do all that, or whatever. You don't want to show your cards that you don't know an answer to something. But
Yeah.
I think it's good now. Something I've learned as well is asking for help. It's a great thing.
It's quite liberating.
Yeah. So what's next for Max May?
I've got a few things coming up.
Yeah.
A few collabs with a couple of different brands. I can't really say anything yet, but over the next few weeks, I will
Great.
be able to say more. So yeah, that's kind of my focus at the moment. But just continuing what I'm doing and having a great time doing it, and
Awesome.
getting to work and do really fun projects like this with you.
Oh,
So yeah,
Thank you.
that's my plan to continue that.
Max, thank you so much for popping in for a chat.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been an absolute delight. And thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye. I was looking at your Insta story last night.
Yes.
The tattoo. Show me a tattoo.
Oh yes, new
my
tattoo.
God.
I have a little tattoo obsession. I've got lots of
Amazing.
little ones.
It's great.
So,
How long
yeah.
did it take?
About 3 hours
Yeah.
of sheer pain and agony.
Good though.
But yeah, I'm gonna get a couple more on the top part of my forearm over the coming weeks.
Nice. Where do you get it done?
I actually get it done just down the road
Oh,
here
really?
by this guy called Max, French guy, fine line tattooist.
Oh,
He's got a little
nice.
studio down there. He
Cute.
does a lot of them actually.
Oh, we'll put a link in the bio. Get that tattoo situation happening.